give your speech.
Thank you very much, and I welcome you all, and I appreciate you coming today, and all of you have a special place in my heart, as you all know. And I want to start this three-part speech by telling you the history of Intrex, how Intrex started, from a mere desk to an empire. Okay, how it all started. Why did I choose this line of business in the beginning? My father was working with CCC as a superintendent for fabrication, welding, and all this. And he planted in my mind welding, fabrication, metallurgy, and all these things. And he encouraged me to go to England and get welding engineering, metallurgy, and welding inspector. So I used to come in the summer from England for 3 months to work with my father, to make some money, of course. And I used to get training in the workshop, fabrication, different type of welding. And I used to meet different type of inspectors. At that time, in the 70s, all KOC inspectors were British. And I started mingling with the British guys. You know, everybody is afraid of the inspector when they come to the site and to inspect the welding and to see the radiographs and all these things. So I started asking them, how can I become an inspector? They start giving me advice. You have to go to the welding institute, you have to get these type of courses and get this examination and everything. So finally, I finished England, the welding engineering and the metallurgy, and I went to the welding institute for 6 months. And during that time, I became good friends with a company called OIS, which were working in Kuwait with KOC. And I went to OIS for 3 months. I got also intensive training in their school. It was run by somebody called Roger Lambert. He's very famous in Saudi Arabia. It was a company called Fergo or something. He was the head of the NDT department. So anyway, I came back to Kuwait. I worked with CCC for 3-4 months. I was not happy. I left. And then suddenly I met by a chance the first guy, Ahmed Sanausi, who was a lawyer. And he was thinking to do an inspection company because he was a lawyer for so many international companies. So he knew something about inspection. So I convinced him and I started with him. He gave me a room with an empty desk, a typewriter, a pen, and a writing pad. And of course, the salary and the car and everything. So to make money for the company, I was alone. I started, because I had the C-suite ticket at that time, it was very important to have a C-suite. The first Arabic guy in the Middle East who has a welding inspector C-suite 3.1. And I started hiring myself to the companies like CCC, CAFCO, Kirby, and all these companies, and making for the company around 3,000-4,000 kg for the company, not for my pocket, okay? And after 3-4 months, I hired the secretary to do the typing because I was doing everything on the typewriter. And then hired the Mandoor, who was the Iraqi Mandoor. And then the first inspector and the second inspector, and the curves start going up, month by month. At that time, the market in Kuwait was dominated by 2 companies. Premico for NDT, and unfortunately NCCS. They were dominating the Kuwait market from 1976 onwards to 1980. Until Intrex started. So by 83, 84, we start getting a lot of work, we start having a lot of people. We finished around, by the end of 80s, we had around 80 inspectors, and we had built our offices in Ahmadi, laboratories, equipment, a fleet of equipment, and we were well equipped for this, and we were making a lot of money. Then the invasion of Kuwait came, the Iraqis, and they took everything. And they burned everything. They looted all our equipment. They burned our Ahmadi offices. But at that time, I was not in Kuwait. I was on a vacation with my family in Cyprus. My brother was here. So what he did, my brother, he went to Ahmadi. He brought garbage bags. It was in the ground. He made a big ditch in the ground, and he buried the 6 isotopes and the 3 crawlers, gamma crawlers, in the sand, and he covered them with the sand. Because he could not take them in his car, because they were roadblocks of the Iraqis. If they find anything in your car, they would have finished it. So after the liberation of Kuwait, I came back, and with my brother, he was working with Intrex, and we started the first 6 months. We had nothing. We uncovered the buried things. Everything was looted. Dark rooms, equipment. We didn't have anything. So for the first 6 months, we worked, no salaries, nothing. We were staying in the hotel, me and him, and we started trying to find where's the people. We had around 60, 70 technicians. They left to India, and some of them, we could not find them. We started bringing the people back and start building the company again. Believe me, it was a lot of hard work, day and night. Not thinking about the money, how much we want to make for our pockets and this. We were thinking how we can build Intrex again. Until 99, we succeeded. But unfortunately, some problems started happening between me and the owner, Ahmed Sanusi. He was taking a lot of money from the company. And he was building his villa on the beach, and his big villa in Shania, in Kuwait City, and he started taking money from the company, left and right. So I started having fights with him. Until such time, I went to him, and I told him, you have no right to take money from your company account. This money is not yours. It's for the people, salaries, it is for the equipment, it is for the debtors, it's for so many people. We have to pay money, and we have to get consumables, so we have to pay all our clients. No, I am the owner. I said, you cannot do it. From 1 word to 2, we started having a fight. I told him, finally, okay. There are 2 choices you have. Either I will leave the company, or you will sell the company. He said, okay. You find somebody to buy the company. So I started searching in the market. I found Kharafi. They are interested. Because I was doing jobs for Kharafi National at that time. So they bought the company. And we disconnected from Sanusi and we continued with Kharafi. Kharafi did very good things for the company. He didn't take any money from the company. And he didn't put any money in the company. He left us running on our own. So we were working day and night to make money and to succeed in the market. And believe me, when I say day and night, I can give you a lot of examples. One time, I went to the site Tuesday morning. I came back Thursday evening to my house. I slept in the dark room. I slept on the scaffolding for 3 days trying to finish a job. Because we never took a job and we failed. Never Intrex took a job and we failed. At any cost. If I had to say 1 week, sometimes I stayed in Ahmed office 1 week. I used to get dinner at 9, 10 o'clock. I used to follow with our radiographers, and I used to sleep on the couch in my office for 1 week, okay, to get the job done. A lot of backlogs. You know, our service type of company is difficult. When you have radiographers, you have NDT people, you have heat treatment, and it is service company, it's very difficult to run. But when you are determined, and when you are honest and decent and doing hard work, nothing will stop you. Until such day, Kharafi National, the big company of Kharafi Group, start going down the drain. Okay, they have 30,000 employees. Intrex were flourishing, we were doing good and getting a lot of money, so I was afraid for the company. So I took an appointment and I went to Kharafi, the owner, directly to himself. I told him, what's going to happen to us? He told me, we might probably sell the company. I told him, you have to take my approval. He said, how I will take your approval? I said, yes, you have to take my approval. He said, I am the owner. I said, okay. Companies are not table lectures. Companies are people. We have almost 400, 500, 700 people. At that time, we were around 1,200 people. I said, you cannot just like this, tell me I want to sell. He told me, okay, then you sell the company. I give you the full authority to find somebody who can buy the company. So you can save the company from Kharafi Group. So first company contacted me is Agility. We had about 6 months negotiation. They gave a price. I rejected the price. The second company contacted me, Al Ghanim International. They were interested. But they didn't take the matter further in that respect. So then, NCCS came to the picture. It was, to tell you honestly, the best thing that happened to Intrex, that NCCS bought the company, because there are similarities in our business. We do the same job. We talk the same language. Whatever we say, they understand. They are not coming like investment company or like a trading company, buying the company, only interested in the money. They are interested in company growth, how we can move forward. And NCCS as a company, I know their history from 76. Okay, during the 80s, I fought them a lot because they were my main competitor. But I managed to succeed in the 80s. So I was 100% convinced of the purchase. So I told Luay, NCCS is interested, and the negotiation took almost 1.5 years until we finalized the deal, and then everything went smooth. Now the third thing that happened in 2019, we were doing great, the company, Intrex. We had a lot of projects, 2016, 2017, 2018. 2019, our employees were around 1,200. But we were hit with the corona in 2020. For me, the corona crisis was harder than the liberation of Kuwait and invasion of Kuwait. It was much harder because the things I have to face, I don't know what to say. People were dying left and right. And people were, if you are a corona, they will throw you in the hospital and nobody can see you from your family. So we had to take hard decisions. But NCCS supported me from Saudi Arabia. In every decision I took, they supported me 100%. For example, 220, 221, in the middle of the crisis, the only company in Kuwait who was paying the salaries every month while the people were sleeping at home. I am one of them, sleeping at home, not going to the office. We were working on faxes and telephones from the houses. We were paying the salaries in full. Plus, we paid the bonus in 220 and 221. A lot of companies in Kuwait, they didn't get their salaries. A lot of companies in Kuwait, they sent employees for unpaid leave. And even they kept their employees in Kuwait without salary. But NCCS, Morgan and Julie and Mahmoud supported me in every decision. And we didn't deduct a single penny from our employees. This has to be addressed, and this has to be noted by our people. All of you guys.